And looking at the rules for GOS, Grand Operational Simulation Series V17, command and strat movement. A formation BG must be in command to be able to initiate strat road movement. Thereafter, the formation is automatically in command until it ceases strat road movement. That makes sense. All formations and BGs that are marked with a strat movement marker are automatically in command until the marker is removed. This includes units entering as reinforcements. They still require and use fuel points. They receive fuel points from the Army headquarters whose ZOP it starts the movement phase. Designer's note: the formation does not require extensive command resources to execute a basic administrative road march. That's what I was thinking. That's why I said it made sense, because basically the unit is given command control input, and then it's just executing that, again, basic type of operation. Combat. Both sides use combat to inflict step losses, retreats, and fatigue on the opposing side's units. All FS missions and ground assaults are forms of combat and occur during the combat phase. Air interdiction and overruns are the only forms of combat that occur outside of the combat phase. They occur during movement. Combat phase sequence. The SOP for the combat phase lists the order of segments used during this phase. Attack designation. Units that are in PA mode are already attack designated by being in PA mode. During the attack designation segment, the active side designates units that he wishes to conduct a tactical assault, or TA. He does so by placing a TA marker or an ace of spade marker on top of the unit or stack of units. Note: attack designation and therefore attacking is not mandatory. Units are only forced to conduct an attack if they are attack designated. Fire support, or FS description. FS missions are resolved using the fire support table during the FS segments of the combat phase. Airstrikes are FS missions that convert AP into FS points. Artillery barrages are FS missions that convert an artillery unit's barrage factors into FS points. Naval gunfire is an FS mission that converts naval gunfire points into FS points. All of these attacks use the rules outlined in 11.0. Ground assault description. Ground assaults, GAs, are attacks by active non-artillery units against enemy units in adjacent hexes and occurs during the GA segment. Overrun is a form of GA that occurs during the exploitation phases. Fire support missions. Artillery units, AP, and naval units attack enemy target hexes by conducting FS missions, which are useful for softening them up prior to GA, destroying them, giving shifts against them in subsequent GA, or forcing them to retreat from the target hex. FS missions are normally conducted during the FS mission segment of the combat phase. However, units in exploit mode may be subject to air and artillery missions during an exploitation phase. Each FS mission is an individual event and must be concluded before initiating a new FS mission. Players must declare all naval and airstrike missions for a specific target hex prior to conducting any artillery missions against that hex. Only one artillery mission per target hex per combat phase may be used. However, that mission may consist of multiple volleys. The number of air and or naval missions per target hex will vary with the mission capacity, light, medium, or heavy. Mission capacity depends on the size and mode of the unit observing for the mission. A player is never forced to conduct a FS mission. Note: in the following rule sections, the term mission refers to fire support mission. FS mission sequence. A player initiates a mission by informing the opposing side an FS mission is being conducted against a specific target hex. There are 3 subsegments within the FS segment. Subsegments may be conducted in the order listed below. Must be conducted in the order listed below. Each subsegment is conducted for all target hexes prior to moving to the next subsegment. Okay, so you're doing in one subsegment, you're doing that action for all the different target hexes. Then you're going on to the next subsegment and doing that action for all the target hexes. Okay, units moving during the exploitation phase may be subject to ground support FS mission and a medium artillery FS mission immediately upon declaring an overrun attempt. Subsegment 1, active side conducts air missions. Subsegment 2, inactive side conducts artillery and then naval or air missions. Subsegment 3, active side conducts artillery, then naval missions. Okay. There are 4 steps to resolve a mission. These steps must be completed prior to initiating another mission. Declare the FS mission, calculate volleys and DRMS, determine the result, implement the result. So declare the FS mission. A player initiates a mission by designating the target hex and spotting unit. He then declares the type of mission or missions, that is whether air, naval, and/or artillery. In each subsegment, he must declare the number of air missions and the number and type of naval missions prior to conducting any fire support. These declarations are done on a target hex by target hex basis, that is, he does not have to declare all missions he plans to conduct, just those against each target hex as it is designated. The attacking player is not allowed to examine possible target hexes beyond what is allowed by the Fog of War rules and the observation rules. The attacking player is informed of the applicable DRMs once the target hex is declared. He is not entitled to know exact composition or types of units. Target hex. A FS/NFS mission is always directed against a single enemy-occupied hex, which is called the target hex. Spotting unit. The player conducting an FS mission must designate one friendly unit to act as a spotter for all types of FS missions conducted against a single target hex. The spotter must be able to observe at least one enemy unit or a population feature in the target hex using the criteria described in the observation rules. When conducting an FS mission against an observed population feature, if no unit in the target hex can be observed, the mission is considered observed for capacity purposes. However, it is subject to unobserved FS mission DRMs. If the spotter cannot meet the above requirements, the mission is unobserved and can only be conducted if scenario rules allow. Spotter limits. The same spotter must always observe for all missions conducted against a single target hex. A battalion-sized unit may be designated a spotter for missions in 2 separate target hexes. A hybrid unit with 2 companies is treated as a battalion for this purpose. The number of steps remaining does not affect the ability of a battalion-sized unit to observe into more than one target hex. Other than the hybrid unit mentioned above, all company-sized units, 1 or 2 step, may spot for missions into one target hex. Z-step units may not be designated as a spotter for FS missions. No more than 2 units may be selected as spotters from a single hex during a combat phase. A unit may not be designated as a spotter for an FS mission if that unit has advanced as a result of a previous mission during the same FS segment. If a unit is attached to a different formation BG than it is assigned, that unit may only be designated as a spotter for the formation BG it is attached. Air observation. See 8.3.0 for rules regarding using air observation. Designate mission units. The player conducting the mission designates the number of air or naval units that will participate in the mission in that subsegment. APs and naval units cannot be designated to conduct an FS mission in the same subsegment. It must be one or the other. The active player could conduct an air mission in the first subsegment, and then after the inactive player conducts his missions, he could then conduct artillery and naval missions. A unit or point may participate in a mission if there is sufficient capacity and naval and artillery units must be within range of the target hex. There's an example. Example 1, the inactive player has designated a battalion as an ET2, in an ET2 as the spotter, and he wishes to conduct an air mission and an artillery mission against a target hex. He first states how many AP will participate. He then resolves the artillery mission. After the artillery mission, he may conduct the air mission. However, if the target no longer contains enemy units, the AP are expended and cannot participate in any other mission. Example 2. The active player has designated a battalion in PA mode as the spotter and wishes to conduct a GS mission, a naval mission, and an artillery mission. During the first subsegment, he declares and conducts a ground support mission. Then, if there are still units in the target hex, in the third subsegment, he declares he is conducting an artillery mission and naval mission. He first states the number and type of naval units. He then conducts the artillery mission and then the naval mission. If after the artillery mission the target no longer contains enemy units, the naval unit is considered expended and cannot participate in any other mission that game turn. Mission capacity. Mission capacity limits the number of artillery units, AP, and naval units that may participate in a mission. There are three categories of capacity: light, medium, and heavy. Capacity limits may be modified by scenario rules. Consult the mission capacity table to determine the maximum number of units and/or points allowed in each category. So light fire support. Unobserved missions are always light FS missions. A light FS mission must be made when the spotter is a company-sized unit, a corps or army asset unit of any size not assigned to a formation or BG. A light mission may consist of 1 DD, 2 artillery units allied, 1 artillery unit Axis. Medium fire support. To conduct a medium FS mission, the target units or population feature must be observed. FS missions using air observation are always medium FS missions. A medium FS mission may be made when the spotter is a battalion-sized unit, a company-sized unit in an ET Fort fortified area hex, a company-sized unit or larger in an ET Fort fortified area and is the subject of an overrun attempt. The mission is conducted immediately after the overrun is declared. Naval and air point may not be used, artillery only. A medium FS mission may consist of 1 air mission, up to 2 DD, 3 artillery units allied, 2 artillery units Axis. Heavy fire support. To conduct a heavy fire support mission, the target units or population feature must be observed. The spotter must be a battalion-sized unit in PA mode, battalion-sized unit in an ET Fort fortified area hex. A heavy FS mission may consist of 2 air missions, 1 BB or 1 MN, or alternately 1 CA and 1 CL, or alternately 1 CA and 1 DD, or alternately 1 CL and 1 DD, or alternately 2 DD. 16 artillery units US only, 12 artillery units other allied, 8 artillery units Axis. FS capacity modification. The following units do not count towards capacity. Players may have an unlimited number of these units participate in any FS mission. Artillery units adjacent to the target hex. Heavy flak and/or CW US Commonwealth US tank destroyer units. Forts with artillery capabilities. The number of artillery units that may participate in an FS mission is increased by 1 if the observing unit occupies a vantage point hex. Formation requirements. Artillery units must meet formation requirements to participate in an FS mission. To conduct a medium or heavy FS mission, at least 1 participating artillery unit must be subordinate to the spotter's formation. Participating artillery units must be assigned to the same formation as the spotter. Army asset unit assigned to the same army as the spotter's formation. Corps asset unit assigned to the same corps as the spotter's formation. Unit subordinate to any other formation assigned to the same corps as the spotter. In this case, only 1 artillery unit from each formation may participate in a single FS mission. Artillery units subordinate to a corps or formation with an ADV of 0 may not participate in a mission observed by a unit that is not subordinate to the artillery unit's formation.